Hi everyone, welcome back to the SkinArtJ YouTube channel. My name is Alana and I'm joined as always by Jay from SkinArtJ. Today we're going to be talking all about flash tattoo designs. So the quote that we have today is that tattoos are like stories. They're symbolic of the important moments in your life. Sitting down, talking about where you got each tattoo and what it symbolizes is really beautiful. And that quote is from Pamela Anderson. And I'm sure a lot of people have seen her tattoos multiple times.
Oh, fair.
And the statistic that we have today is the only year the tattoo industry did not experience growth is in 2020. And of course, we know that was because of the global pandemic. So every year since then, the tattoo industry has been on the rise. Do you see that in your studio?
Oh, 100%. Everything's changing, everything's growing. Depending on the mindsets of people, I personally reside with the idea or the thought where I've heard it in multiple studios of if it's not broken, don't fix it. I don't believe that. I believe that if you can enhance it or improve it, why wouldn't you? So I see that still being applied in the industry in general, where it's tattoo machines are taking off, the different inks. There's evolution in every which way of the expansion of a tattoo, and artists are really pushing themselves. It's no longer just getting a trad tattoo. You have people that are creating gorgeous pieces that are realism, and now it's starting to mimic the old masters and how they used to tattoo. So it's exciting seeing such a broad array of artwork that's being demonstrated for clients.
I love that. That's great. So the term flash in tattooing comes from the traveling circus and carnival trade in the 1800s, where visual appeal was called flash. Tattoo artists would display designs that they would have on paper or cardboard that were hung and displayed outside of where they would tattoo from on what they called flash racks for customers to choose from. Flash designs are pre-designed tattoos, repeatable, and commonly on display on walls or in binders in tattoo shops. They're often associated with old school rock and roll and American imagery. So do you have flash tattoo designs at your studio?
I have tons. It's located both on my website, which you can see a lot of my flash ideas. My Instagram, it's categorized in the highlights of depending on what someone's going for. If they want like quick little pieces that are under $200, or if they're looking for bigger pieces that are commonly at a reduced hourly. To then in shop, I have 2 binders currently, probably will keep growing as it does. And it's sometimes posted on the walls, depending on kind of the vibe I'm going for.
Excellent. And what inspires you to create your flash designs?
A lot of times for my flash designs, they are based on my emotions and channeling them in a way that I can visually get them out there. I've done this since I was a kid, so it's just something I've carried on to currently, and it's inspired from an array of things to kind of what I'm going through at that time, the lessons I'm learning, to things that always capture my attention or that I find beautiful.
I love that. That's great. So yeah, if you wanted to take a look at SkinArtJ's Flash, her website is www.skinartjtattoos.com. And so we heard a little bit about it in the story, but what is a flash tattoo?
Flash tattoos generally are prepared designs that the artist has come up with beforehand, and a client's coming in and they like what they see, and then they get that tattooed on them. So it's pretty much a client, or it's an artist's idea or visual that they've come up with themselves without the input of a client, and something they want to create on someone. And if it aligns with what a client likes, then they get it.
Excellent. And why are flash designs so popular?
I believe that they're popular because it's nice and quick. Some people are indecisive. They don't know what they want, but they want something, which it works out for both the artist and the client, getting something that they can both enjoy. And on top of that, it's just designs already visually prepared for someone so that it takes a lot more pressure off the client to have to try to come up with more ideas. So depending on what a client's wanting, it can very much play in favor of the direction that both the artist and client want.
Perfect. And is a flash gallery a great place for a client to look at an artwork of a artist and decide if that is the style that they like?
Very much so. Example, if you're going to a person like myself who doesn't do realism, you're probably not going to have the best fit as the artist, just being that that's not maybe what they're interested in. Each artist has their own things that they're drawn to. Example, I'm not going to say I'm not going to tackle realism maybe at some point, but currently where I'm at, it's just not something that's appealing to me, where some artists don't want to do it at all. So it's just finding what the artist is very passionate about and what they enjoy creating, to figuring out what the client is wanting from them and making sure it's aligned in both the style and a good fit with personality as well.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Great. What percentage of your tattoos are flash versus custom?
Right now I am doing a lot more custom than I am doing flash, which I'm A-okay with that too. I would say a good 80% is custom pieces, and then good 20% is my flash. I am starting to see a little bit of a shift in that. Example, I have one client that I work with. She's been amazing, and she gave me a chance to do one of my mandalas that aren't your common mandalas. I very much focus on color and black and gray, so my mandalas typically play into both, but she wanted to go with the color pieces, so I got the opportunity to explore that, and it's now become a sleeve with her.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Great. Why would some flash be non-repeatable?
Some flash might be non-repeatable, being that the artist just wants to create it one time just to be able to do it and doesn't want to do it multiple times, or with the intention that it is specifically something that they don't want to recreate because it's supposed to be one of a kind. So depending on what the intentions are from the artist and what they want from that, it can sometimes be limited to just a one-time thing and then it's one of a kind and no one else is going to have that. Or if an artist, example, is creating a series, which I've seen with some, and for instance, I've seen some artists do it where it's like a cartoon and it slowly moves, and they've collected, or not collected, but have been able to create enough tattoos with multiple people, like over 30 people. And it looks like one of those comic book things that you're flipping, or like when you're young and you had the little flip book. So I thought that was really neat. So those can be instances where I would consider that a one-off, because you have it doing something that is exact pose and then doing a slightly different action move. Where, example, someone might want to do multiple of the same flower tattoo because a family comes in and they want all same or similar tattoos to represent their bond. Just depends on the intention of why someone wants to create something and what they're wanting from that result.
Excellent. So for repeatable flash tattoos, you don't have a problem in creating the same tattoo on multiple people over and over, and clients don't have a problem with that either?
Typically, no, I don't. Like, there is pieces that I have created over and over. Example, one that is very popular that I have seen as a repeatable flash that I've made well aware to every client that decides to get that piece that it is a repeatable flash, but I find that I will do something slightly different with it in each piece. So it's still the same outline or design, but I'll usually find subtle ways to play with it so it still makes it unique for them. So that's how I will put a twist on it. But I don't have a problem repeating something over and over again because, once again, there is many people on the earth, and people do like things that are similar to another person. So I would say yes and no to that question. Depends on the piece itself and the intention.
Excellent. One of my favorite tattoos that I have on myself is a repeatable flash. And I know that there's going to be other people with that, but nobody is going to have the exact same meaning that I have with it.
Exactly.
So I love that. I don't mind repeatable flash either.
Another way that I can see it is like, then you're kind of like a part of a community.
Yeah.
And then it's like, can I find others that have the same one?
Yeah, exactly. I was coming out of a movie theater and I heard someone say that they saw someone with the tattoo that I just got. And I was like, oh my God, I have that same one too, that same tattoo also.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it is a little bit like a community.
You wouldn't have had the conversation otherwise.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's really neat.
So how many flash designs do you have in your catalog currently?
I have lost count. I know it's well over 300, I believe.
Wow.
That's always constantly growing. Example, I just added to my Valentine's flash that just finished and wrapped up. I'll add to it next year again, but as it stands, there's well over 50 by the end of the season here. So on average, there's always something new coming out.
Excellent. I love that. Would you be willing to edit one of your flash designs for a client?
I definitely can edit a flash design for a client. That being said, once we start customizing and changing a flash design, I do let people know that there likely is going to be a surcharge to any altercation. So example, if they want to add dates and names to it, I can do that, but there's going to be additional charge because it's no longer just the design. That being stated, if it's too much of a change in the design and they want to go and change more than, say, half of the design, at that point, I'm now making something custom and it's just hourly rate.
Excellent. That still is a great jumping off point, I think, for clients, especially if they don't know what they want. If they see a piece and they're like, oh, I love this, except I want to make all these changes. It's not a problem for you to change that. And they're essentially getting a custom tattoo, but just with the idea kind of given to them.
Exactly. It's still inspiration that they found, and obviously they like those elements of it. And then it's just customizing it to what they want to see.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, take the idea and then build it and make it your own.
Exactly.
Perfect. And how does tipping work with flash designs? Does standard tipping apply? What is the tipping custom for tattoos, if you don't mind talking about that?
So that one's always like a interesting topic. As I tell people, it's not expected, it is appreciated. So some people, by no pressure by any means, won't be able to leave a tip. That's a-okay. There's no resentment there. There's no like hard feelings. I understand it's an expensive piece. Same stance. Some people want to share that, or they want to share more than what they have paid for. Average that I have heard in the industry is 10%, just like when you're in kind of a restaurant scenario. And then other times, another great thing that we all love is we love food. So tipping can also come in the form of people gifting us like little food for everyone to share and eat, or like little trinkets and stuff. Whatever someone is comfortable sharing and can share in the capacity that they have. So if they don't, that's a-okay. If they want to share something that is like a small trinket, we love those. We love collecting things. And then if they want to give us money, that's more than appreciated as well.
Excellent. It's like an energy exchange.
Exactly.
Is tipping affected if they're getting a flash piece versus a custom piece? Do people feel that they shouldn't have to tip as much because the piece wasn't custom created for them? Or are they tipping more because it's a pre-made piece? Does that seem to have any bearing on how much people tip?
Sometimes, because once again, people that sometimes get flash, it's within their budget range and that's what they can afford at that time, which I still appreciate someone willing to let me tattoo them. Other times, people still will leave a generous amount after they've received a flash piece. So it's depending on what, once again, they're able to provide and if they want to.
Excellent. I love that. Well, thank you so much for teaching us about flash tattoos. And where can we find you online?
Instagram is SkinArtJ. Then I have my website, as mentioned earlier by Alana, the www.skinartjtattoos.com. I'm also on TikTok, which is SkinArtJ. And then I have my Facebook, which is Skin-Art-J.
Excellent. So find SkinArtJ online and take a look through her flash designs, make an appointment, and I believe you like Tim Hortons tea. You can bring that.
I'm very much a tea drinker. That is my go-to.
Perfect. All right, bring that in for the consultation. I'm sure she would love it. But that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe button and follow us for more great tattoo content. Bye, guys.